everyone, this is Heri Kusrianto, co-founder of Interfaith Study and Community Development Association in conjunction with Philadelphia Roundtable. In this video presentation, we're going to take you back the historical journey, the Black Holocaust and slavery. And surely this is the most horrific, horrendous, horrible, despicable act that human being ever done towards other human being. Let us not forget our history in the past, so we can teach, we can educate our children, our youth, and our future generation. And by looking at the past, hoping that we can learn, reflect back, we can move on. And at the same token, we have to struggle, we have to strive, try to demand justice, peace, freedom, and equality for all. Together we can improve, to develop quality of human life. And thank you for tuning in. Subscribe and support our ministry, and see you soon.
I'm J. Justin Ragsdale, Chief Curator for Let's Forget the Black Holocaust Museum. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to see what we do here, in hopes that you will come and help us out here, because we do need your help. This is something that has to be told. These stories in this museum must be told. We cannot keep it a secret. This is Philadelphia's best kept secret. The one thing about it, our children must learn about slave history. They must learn it, whether they like it or not. And we must make them realize that slavery is not black history. Slavery interrupted black history. They must learn the value of who they are. Let them know that they came from a long line of great people. People who paid sacrifices after sacrifice after sacrifice. And my question is to everyone, what are we going to do with their sacrifice? We cannot allow ourselves to be anything less than the best. We, as the older people, we're the best. Our children are the best of the best. We have to exemplify that and make them understand their value in the world today. This right here is what I'm doing. This is a tunnel I'm building in the museum, and this tunnel is being built because when I was in Africa, I saw the tunnel of no return, the doors of no return. And when I saw that, I got the idea. I said, what I ought to do is have a tunnel of remembrance, so that people can be here. And we can all put our names in there. So people that start buying the bricks, and what we're doing is, these have all been bought. If you notice, the name is etched in the stone. So it's going to take about a good 8,000 or 9,000 to do all this. But for every 4 feet, there's 1,000 bricks. And there'll be no light in the tunnel. There's going to be no light. A 4-foot path, no light in the tunnel. That means when you go in, everybody takes everything down. Everybody helps me. When you go in the tunnel, we have the doors. The doors were right here. They were sitting right here, but everybody helps me and they take them down. But we open the doors and we're building the doors back there. When you go into the tunnel, you have to be sifted through, like, okay, three more people like that. Now you got 8,000 names in here, and the names are like this. How do you propose to find your name? How would you find your name in there? So I told somebody, I said, well, we'll bring you in 3 weeks ahead of time and leave you in there with a flashlight, and you'll find it like that. But that's not practical. We use the coordinates. And that coordinates will let you find your brick in less than 3 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's easy to do. Yeah. And so this is going to be the tunnel of remembrance. And this right here is my granddaughter. My granddaughter died in a fire. And she was going to actually be working in here with me. She died at 15. And that makes me understand that the value of this tunnel must be put up. So I'm asking everyone, purchase a brick. Everyone. Every black person in America, buy a brick, let's get this done. That's all.
How much?
The bricks are $75.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
they were $150. We made it half price because we want everyone to buy a brick. People that can't afford a brick, we want you to buy a brick. You can do. We had a set where we had it so that we could have it paid on time, but people never come back. Not that that wouldn't be a problem, but nonetheless. So this is the tunnel of remembrance. This is it. And this is the captions we wrote on the side. It said, purchase a brick for your ancestors, friends, and family. Do it, okay? Walking now.
Okay. And walking.
Oh, let me turn this light off. And this is George. This is George. George, all right, man. Okay, be cool. I'm not gonna bother you. George is my mannequin. And what he does, he travels with me, him and Alan. They travel with me sometimes. He just came back from New York. George sits here, and I demonstrate this to people that come in. And that is these slave shackles. This shackle right here is a middle passage shackle. See? This comes apart, and what it does, when you're on a ship, what they do is they put this on your leg, and then put the other one on someone else's leg, and he's shackled right next to you. Then they put a lock on it. When they put a lock on it, it can't come off. These these shackles here had to be, they had to stop using them on board slave ships because under here, maggots would live. And it would damage the tibia, which is this bone right here. And when they got you to where they could sell you, then maggots would be under here, or the bone would be pure white, because the maggots would eat the infection. Okay? And it goes like this. If I can get it on my leg used to be small back in the day. My leg like that, lined up with him, like this. And it goes like this. See? Now, you're shackled to him like that. And as you're shackled to him like that, then you also have this. This is on you also. This goes on your neck, and this goes on your wrist. And you're shackled to him. And you also had two other people over here shackled together. And then we have another chain that locks to the bulkhead and comes over and locks to the floor. So you're actually locked in. And as you sit there, your legs are open. Now, you know how you sit on a gym floor? They put your legs up in your chest, you put your arms around them like that. On a slave ship, that's how they would have you on this particular slave ship. Your legs are open. That means the next person they put in here, they put him right here. Oh, wow. So that means his head is this close to your face. And there's 25 people forward and 4 abreast. That means we have 100 people in a space 37 inches high, by 4.5, maybe a little less than 5 feet wide. So you're packed in like sardines. Okay? And then we have another deck over that with another 100 people. Another deck over that with another 100 people. And then we duplicate on the other side. We got 600 people on a ship that only holds 450. In the bow of the ship, we have women and small children. And it takes 15 weeks to get to America, 4 weeks to get to the West Indies. In the 15 weeks, the women will be pregnant, because you know what we'll be doing. We will sodomize the boys like we want. We will even sodomize the men because they cannot do anything. Can you understand what slavery is all about? If you can understand it, if you can look up the word middle passage. When you look at the word middle passage, it says middle passage, but it does not tell you what happened on there. It's not even in the history books, and that's why I had to go to Africa to find out. And I found out via this gentleman right there. I spent 4 days in Cape Coast Castle talking to him and got the full report on how we were treated on board slave ships. Okay? Right. So these things we talk about in this museum. Okay. Now this museum is not going to be funded, so don't get it twisted. They're not going to fund me, and they told me so much. They're not going to help me because nobody is going to tell Nobody's going to fund me if I'm going to tell black people what white people did to them during the Middle Passage. But if I do Underground Railroad and a bunch of other stuff with white people in there helping out and stuff like that, then it's fine. But this, I'm not going to get funded.
So it's up to us to keep this going.
That's what I tell everybody. This is your museum. You know, you want to hear the truth, but you won't support it. But that's how we operate. Okay? Now, what else are we going to talk about? Same thing. It's the same thing. It's telling you how they captured you, put you aboard slave ships, took your babies from you a lot of times. And if they tell the truth, on board a slave ship, you're always naked. You're always naked. They didn't trust you. Plus, when they put you on board a slave ship, think about it. They're feeding you pork, mush, yams, things. They make a mush out of it and they take it out of that barrel and feed it to you. When they feed it to you, you're starving. You eat anything. Is that right?
That's right.
So what happens is, it doesn't agree with you because you're a vegetarian. And as it hits the bottom of your stomach, even though you're hungry, the ship is doing like this. After a while, you're going to want to bring it up. And when you bring it up, my question to you, my brother, where are you going to bring it up?
On your brother.
Right in front of the man, right on the man in front of you. And you got 600 people doing the same thing. It must smell awful, is that right?
It sounds like it would have a very high or very low survival rate.
Yep.
In those situations.
Because, and remember, they didn't have ventilation.
Right.
All you had was the grates up top where you came in. There were no portals and things where you could sneak out, wasn't there. Okay? Now, and also, what they would do was, if you eat, you're going to have to let it out.
Right.
Now, where would you go to let it out? Trapped in like that. So now you're sitting in it. That means you're sitting in an inch and a half of human waste, yours and those around you. Okay? Now, also, we as slavers come through every once in a while. Every 3 hours we come and we throw seawater on you. And if you know water seeks its own level. It finds its way into stuff. It'll fill up down the bottom because it's seeking its own level. Now, when you throw that water on me up top, from the top down, that means the boards have cracks in them. All that waste is coming down on the people below. And you're sitting there trapped and you're saying, that's the best you can do. Until the water hits you, and it's constantly running, the water hits you and goes down to the next level. That means when all that water winds up down the bottom, we down the bottom are sitting in what? 11 to 12 inches of human waste. That means we're sitting in a toilet.
Yeah, right. And
You see.
And this is a 15-week or 4
And this is the 15 and the 4 week.
pass.
Oh yeah, both of them the same thing.
That's right.
Okay? And when that happens, that means you have what? You have rats on board.
Right.
People like George, you lose people. They die. When they die, he's been dead for about, what, a week and a half? That means his body's decomposed, right? What do you have on board now? You got maggots.
Right.
Maggots are on me. And the smell is awful. Now, when Britain abolished slavery in 1803, when they abolished slavery on the high seas in 1803, they began to enforce it. When they did that, they shipped the British men of war out to hunt these slave ships down. It became a crime to do slavery. Then what they did was, they began to shoot them, bring the ships in, fire a shot over their bow, bring them in, and hang the white guys.
Okay.
They could take black people back to where they were. Once they take them back, they probably capture them again and bring them back out. Of course, they didn't have any guns, didn't have a plan to really fight. And if you go back in history, you find out the women set up a lot of plans to fight. A lot of the plan was set up by women, even though the men executed it. And when that's done, you have maggots, he's dead, and they asked him how are they going to find these ships. He said they're going to follow the sharks, follow the seagulls, and you could smell the ship for 5 miles. So that's what it was all about. It was easy to track. But these ships were skips. They could fly faster than the British men of war because she had 40 guns. She had 80 guns. That means she had 40 guns on side. That's why when ships you see in the movie, they turn broadside. And they say, give them a broadside. They fire all those guns and decimate your ships. That's what they do. Everything's falling down. See? But the one thing I find is, as this is all done, they didn't tell us the truth. And that bothered me. But anyhow, that's what that was. That's sound effects in the movie.
Right.
Whips don't crack like that. You know, I can crack it, but not this one. You need some with some length to it. So it was coming apart, so I did that. But these are the kind of whips that put it on it.
Interesting. I remember a while back I saw this exhibit here, and I had my 5-year-old niece with me trying to explain, and we're like walking in the line looking at each and every exhibit. And when we stopped here, she asked me to explain, and I go in, because she sees the children, and she's trying to make sense of it. And so I go into explaining, you know, the watermelon, and then there was a sign you had, well, the one had the child was eating the watermelon, and then it had the alligator right behind her. You know, it was kind of like a chain, a food chain. And then I go into explaining the one was describing a for sale. We sell chicken to niggers, you know, and so I go to explain that. Yeah, had coon chicken, and she busts out, says, "Uncle Jessel, I like chicken," and it was just a moment, you know, one of those you had to be there, but it's very disappointing, you know, when you can't really get your point across to a child.
She didn't get it.
She can't really wrap her mind around, you know, the destruction that was done to her people back then, and how they exploited us. And like you said, alligator bait. Who knew?
Her name was Jemima.
Okay.
That was her name, Jemima. That was her name, Jemima. And when they called it Aunt Jemima. And we say Aunt Jemima. We make it all in one.
Yeah.
But it was Aunt Jemima. Her name was Jemima. She made white folks famous.
Yeah, I'm looking at your displays. There's a couple of different narrations of her. Because you have here, there. You get that advertisement there with the Aunt Jemima.
And they don't care as long as he made it look black and a fat woman. That's all it was.
Indeed.
And Ernest Hogan, this is a black guy that wrote that music.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of black guys made it. All coons look alike to me.
Dude. Explain that purse. Can you?
That's what once you get alligators, you make purses and things out of them.
Right.
That's what it's for. That's alligator skin.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I have a couple more of them around here. But we don't have, we're limited in space. And when the guy told me about the alligators and things like that, then I began to really look at it. And he told me, he said, if I hear about it anymore, I'm going to deny it. Meaning I can't come back to him and verify it, even though he did tell me. Okay, this right here, that's a fish in there. But this is all alligator. This is all alligator bait stuff.
So let me get this straight. So there were times when they used a little black baby as an alligator's bait.
Yeah, I'm gonna build the pit back that they used. I saw the pit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
you
financial wise. So the skin of the alligator was much more than a slave.
Yeah. A little baby, you got to feed it and bring it up. So you got to bring them up. They don't serve no purpose but to cry and poop, and eat. That's all they do. They ain't. What good are they?
Wow. I heard one story where I might have been in a Huckleberry Finn or one of those kind of stories where poor white trash, what they were called, would steal babies when nobody, if they could get at them and go down and try to make the money with the alligators.
Well, you didn't have to really steal them, but they did.
Okay.
You didn't have to really steal them, and Well, and it wasn't so much the white trash. Everybody was doing it.
Okay.
Well, but they were the ones that you see on television now. Those guys in the boats trying to catch alligators. You see them now.
Right.
But they used bait, and what they did was they had an 8-foot pit, and this pit had a 24-inch gate on it. And what they would do, they'd pull a sapling down and put a loop on it and have it tied to that sapling, and have a trip board. When that alligator hit that board, it would trip it and snatch the alligator up in the air. So the baby would be no more an attraction to the alligator. And then I questioned the guy. And you're talking about an 300 or 400 pound, 800 pound alligator. He'll bump that trip board. Therefore, the baby would be all right. Because really, the only thing would be in the water was his legs like that. And he would try to raise his legs, which would chum the water. And if at all an alligator that's smaller comes through there and doesn't hit that trip board,
Oh, he gets the baby.
then he'll grab the baby by the legs. It don't take much. And they do that alligator roll and tear that child apart. And that's how they live. I mean, and a lot of times they would come and the alligator would turn around if you get out and go. But most of the time he'd be eating half the child's screaming, then it dies. But it's still tied there. Because it's tied up here like that. See? All right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well,
I have the space, I just don't have the money to move it. And if I get the brick sold, I can move it. This is what I'm telling people.
Okay.
You know, it's not about loans. I don't want a loan.
Right.
I don't want to be loaned nothing.
Okay.
You know, don't loan me nothing. Just give it to me. And let's do this because this is our history. This is what happened to us.
Right.
And I'm going to talk to some little brothers to make them understand slave history is not African history. It's not black history.
No.
That's not your history. Your history isn't slavery. It's not.
Dang.
But what it did, it interrupted black history.
Right.
That's what it did. Slavery interrupted it. When it interrupted, everybody focuses on that. But your history precedes all that stuff.
We have these carvings here. Do you have anything from our early or from our slavery experience in terms of artwork?
I have some.
You have a little. Okay.
I have some. A lot of this stuff goes back past slavery. A lot of it's past slavery. This one right here. This right here. That right there is a cotton bag. Right there. And I have that's a cotton bag. That's hanging right down there.
Right. The white
That's
bag.
also a cotton basket.
Okay.
This is to call the brothers and sisters out of the fields.
Wow. You'll hear that.
Yeah, they'll come.
How much cotton could you get inside of it? Like your full load is weighing about how much?
No, you have 50, 60 pounds, if not 100.
Okay.
But you had to pick 5. If you pick 500 in the beginning, they're going to want you to do it every day or you get beat.
Right.
I think it's called the Southern Coffee House, where they would
Yeah, that's
bring the
a
slaves and
market.
sell them.
Front market.
Yeah, front market. Yeah.
That's where they sold enslaved Africans.
They would auction them off,
Yeah.
correct. And that's far before that photo there, 1928.
But no, they were selling, that's before that, but the coffee house was still on the corner. The coffee house is farther up.
Yes,
You ever seen, you know where Dock Street is?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
but I remember when it was like that.
Wow.
When it was loaded down with old buildings and they had
Yeah, it's all level
food
now.
and
It's
stuff.
level.
Yeah, I remember when I was riding for Western Union. I rode a bike for Western Union. Remember that, do you?
No, I remember.
Yeah, I rode a bike for Western Union, and I went down to on Second and Callar Hill. That's where it was, and there was an old black guy that was in the market because the markets are open all the time, and it was a fish market.
Okay.
And I told him I wanted some fish, and he said, "How much you got?" I said, $2. He went and gave me 2 or 3 of every kind of fish in that place. I came up with a big bag of fish. I had to go home and clean all that stuff, you know. But he gave it to me.
Right, right.
Okay. It's a
Come on. Oh, you the brother Ibn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote the manuscript
Yeah.
of the Quran.
He's a good friend of mine. He and his wife.
Oh, wow.
They're sweethearts, yeah. But this right here, this is what we talk about in the museum.
Okay.
This is how they raided your village. The Arabs came down and raided your villages. And when they raided your villages, they took you out naked, put yokes on you. Your children would come out, they'd smash their heads if they couldn't keep up. And they burned the whole village. There was nothing alive when they left. Nothing. Old people sitting there, they would run a knife through their throat. They killed the old people. And remember, when you kill old people, you kill your history.
It's like it never happened.
That's right.
So are these black Arabs or just?
Yeah. It's Arabs right there. He's right there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep, there they are right there. See them capturing the people?
This picture of southern Nigeria. 1394.
Yep. Still slaving. Yep.
1394.
They were still bringing them. They were the last ship docked in Mobile Bay. 1865. It came in a real slave ship. Came into Mobile Bay and unloaded a load of slaves. Slaves still live down around that area now. But this right here is currency. This is money. This is money. Okay. Can you have enough light? Okay. I can turn the big light on if you want. We turn it on?
Yeah, tell you what, yeah, that'd be good.
We all went through the same school.
Yeah, exactly. The women's
All
school.
like the same. They don't change.
It was an interesting bottle. What country
That's
did that come
rum.
from?
That's rum. But what it is, we use it. This is Jamaican.
Jamaican rum.
Yeah.
It says non-alcoholic.
What we did was, we use this as part of our display. Like these are agates.
Okay.
Agates used in England and France. They buy people. This is Kissy. This is used in Congo
So this is what the Europeans were using to purchase.
to buy you. And also we traded with this too.
Right.
We did it. Right here, this is Manilas. Not Manila, but Manilas. They were used in Congo.
What material is that?
This is a bronze,
Okay.
a bronze and a brass.
Okay.
That's why you see the color on it.
And the other two pieces, I forget the name.
No, I have more. I just don't have it put it in there.
Okay. But the ascot, what did you call it?
What?
The first currency. Agate?
Agates.
Agates.
Yeah.
And that's like a stone or?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Quartz.
It's
type?
polished up.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. And the other one over there, what's that again?
This is Kissy.
Kissy. And that's, what is that?
Used up in Congo.
And it's-
You know, with twisted metal.
Oh, smell.
8 of them would buy one person.
Okay.
And then you have Katanga crosses.
Okay.
That's what they're called. They were traded. They melt them down and make spear tips, things like that, and jewelry. Then you got rum, opium, and you also have guns.
Wow.
Now you got booze, drugs, and guns. Those are the things that plague our neighborhood right now. Is that right, baby boy?
Yes, sir.
That's what they do. Okay. The more things stay the same, the more they change, the more they stay the same.
It's and that's what was running through my mind because when you said this was currency,
That's
this,
right.
you know, it's trading people for items, and that's kind of what goes on
Exactly.
nowadays.
Right here, these are chevron beads. These beads right here. These chevron beads. One of these will buy 8 people. One little bead.
And where they carved from, this is what I...
They call it chevron beads.
Okay.
Okay. And over here, these are called cowrie shells. They were used in Brazil. In Brazil, had half the people enslaved Africa that came out of Africa were in Brazil. They have the largest population of them. And these cowrie shells, with 8 of them will buy a person.
Okay.
See. And then you have this right here. This comes from Mali. That's a sign of wealth. You see it on a woman's arm. around the neck, stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And men wore it too, but it's a sign of wealth. That means the wealth belonged to the man. The woman didn't own anything. When she came into the family, they would decorate gold, make whatever. If that man died, they could take everything back because she was a nothing. You see?
And that's made out of what metal is that?
This is made out of copper, brass.
Brass. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
it looks like tubing that goes on the refrigerator to me.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Coil.
This right here, this is the middle passage shackle I'll talk to you about.
Right.
But this one right here is a slave shackle proper. This comes off a slave ship. If you have enslaved African that is recalcitrant, mean we can't control him. We will take and put these on his ankles and bend them to conform to his ankle and put a hook in that link and pull you upside down on a mainsail. Sometimes we do it with 1 foot, most of the time we do it with 2. When we pull you up there, then what we will do when you're going up, we take this. We take this and do like that. It hits you right here. And they will pull on the chain. They pull, it would open your insides up like that. And when that was finished, then your inside would fall right across your face. And sometimes they would shoot you, because a lot of times when that opens you up, you're still alive. A lot of people don't realize you're still alive. Because the heart's beating, you're bleeding to death, you'll bleed out.
Right.
But you don't die when they first do it. See? And in England, that's what they used to do in torturing people. They would take a hook and put it in here and pull on it.
Right.
Little by little, you know, you be screaming, I need the information. You can't give it. They pull on some more. That's what it was.
Right. Disembowelment.
Yeah. And when that happened, then they bring you guys up from out of the bowels of the ship and say, this is what's going to happen to you if you rebel against us. Now they're ruling by fear.
Right.
Now, you're a warrior. You don't mind dying, but you don't want to die like that.
Right. Nobody does.
That's the whole thing. Okay?
I'm looking at that map, and that's interesting Negro land.
This right here,
Yeah.
this cost $800.
The map.
Yeah. But it was this big. It was that big.
Okay.
And my friend, my white buddy, he cracks me up. He's a Jewish guy. He says, I said, I'd like to have that map. He says, here, do me a favor. This is my girlfriend's thing. Here, take it. I'll pick it up tomorrow. And we were at a show. That meant I had to run out and make a copy of that.
Right.
And when I made a copy of it, I made 5 copies and blew them up like this.
Okay.
So people could see what they were. Because you couldn't see anything when thinking, well, see, this is in Guinea. This is European settlements explaining what belonged to England, Holland, Denmark, France. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. And these are the ships who they belong to. This is the Gold Coast. This is Mali, Sierra Leone, Mandinga, all the places they were robbing. Up here they call it Negro land. It'll bring you down and filter you right down through here and put you aboard the ships. If you could not, if the slave ships were not there, then they would put you in these castles. This is Gorée Island in Senegal. This is Cape Coast Castle in Ghana. This is where I was, and that's how it looked when I was there. This right here is how it looks now. Same place. They sanitize it. When they sanitize it, they take away all the fear and the hatred out of it and make it so people can go there and look around, oh, this is a slave, this is where you kept him.
Sure.
But they don't realize the horror of it.
Right.
See? Same thing. This is Elmina Castle, which is right down the road from that.
So where are most of the castles? I know they would be on the coastlines, but were there more in certain countries than other countries?
Well, not really. You had Ghana. Ghana looked like the capital, but Sierra Leone did a lot more.
Really?
Of course, a lot of times they couldn't get to it. Now, Sierra Leone was where the ships could get right up to the dock. Ghana, they had to stay out about a mile out, and they put you in a canoe and take you out.
Okay.
See? Oh, any other questions? And these are guns of the trade right here.
1500s to 1600s. So these were single shot muskets and early rifles, I guess. Right?
Yeah, we got flintlocks. Yep. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
pissed off a little bit. But I'm still here. I'm still here.
So it looked like it was
How many people you could put on the ship?
right.
You couldn't just do it.
There was a movie recently about a bell or something, and about a woman, I think she was mulatto or something, in England, and there was a whole case about the slave ships, whether the guy threw the slaves off the
He
ship
threw
because
them
he was sick.
overboard.
Right.
That was the Zon. The Zon. I read the story.
Okay.
And I saw it in a book called Bell.
I think they call it Bell.
It's called Bell.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. There's a couple of them recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, the Zon. That's what it was. And the magistrate that took the case was actually her stepfather.
Right, right.
Really not her stepfather, but her father died, and they sent her to be raised by his family.
Right,
And they really hated it, and they would let her eat with them.
right. That was in the movie too. It was a good movie, pretty
Let her
good.
eat with them.
Interesting.
But that's how it was. That's how stuff is.
Right. Okay.
And this is Judge, the Honorable A. Leon Hickenbotham, Judge of the Third Circuit Court. It's 10 precepts of Mary to say of the jurisprudence, how they treated blacks back then, and the laws set up for them, and how they purport to be today.
Okay.
See, inferiority, property, powerless to keep blacks, whether slave or free, as powerless as possible. Racial purity, always preserve the white male sexual dominance.
Right.
We don't want you messing with our women, but we will mess with yours.
Right.
We'll kill you for messing with ours, but we'll rape yours. Manumission of free blacks to limit and discourage freedom. That's what it's saying. Families, it recognize the rights of the black family, destroy the unity of the black family, deny slaves the right of marriage, demean and degrade black women, black men, black parents, and black children, and then condemn them for their conduct and their state of mind. That's what they're doing to you today.
Right.
But what it is, our children, because they are not educated to it, they on records calling each other niggas, bitches, hoes, because they don't have it. See,
Right.
they don't understand what is being done to them. They think it's being done for them, it's being done to them. See, and like I tell the children when they come here, what you don't know will destroy you.
Right.
It will destroy you. You're not going to get away with it.
Okay.
It says, education and culture. Deny black folk any education. Deny them knowledge of their culture and make it a crime to teach black folk how to read and write. That's why it's imperative we learn. We can't afford not to. We can't afford it. We don't have to. I say, you know what? You are 500 years behind white folk and losing ground.
Right.
You don't have a moment to lose. You got to run faster or forever remain behind. We can't afford that.
Okay.
We can't afford to lose nobody. You know, liberty and resistance. And then you heard my brother say, by any means possible.
What's your piece when you were
Yeah.
speaking on? Yeah, they got that emblem.
Yeah,
just
put it
on
in
the back
between
of
the horses and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Wow.
You seen that?
You want me to open this?
Oh, that's what that is?
fine.
Yeah, that's the slave right there.
The man that taught me a lot. Talked to me anyhow. And this was in his trunk. Here you go.
Let's see how this.
It looks heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. Can you imagine that on your leg? This is what for your leg, your neck.
Neck.
This is, man, that would do a lot of cutting into you, and
You put this in.
and that's for what?
Just,
That's the cup. That's the.
yes, leather.
Oh, okay.
It meant nothing.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Because that's resting on your collarbone.
Right.
And right here. See, and it goes like that on your neck.
Wow.
You see where it's hanging?
Mm-hmm.
We were at a place in Maryland one time when a white guy yelled up, if a nigga can run with that, he's got to have iron balls. And that's where this came from.
Wow.
See, this is 25 pounds. Okay.
Yeah. It felt like a good
This-
20.
This museum makes you very angry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pissy. He said, yeah. You try to be nice, but yeah. This is enslaved Africans abandoned to die. If you couldn't keep up, they'd break your legs, let the animals eat you. Right here, they brought you out of the mountains using this yoke. They would take an axe and chop your head. The Arabs are vicious. They're like that today. They really are. This is when England sent troops, and when they sent troops in to take down slavery, they found large concentrations of black people that were beheaded by the Arabs. Okay. Just done? Done with it.
Give me one more this document here.
In other words, in Puerto Rico, they also had blacks.
Right.
They had black slaves in Puerto Rico because that's where a lot of the ships landed to refuel and get groceries and stuff and move on to the next thing. And a lot of the Puerto Ricans, black slaves got off and they would mix in and go. They'd hide up in the mountains and stuff like that. They did the same thing in Jamaica.
Right, right.
In Jamaica and other places, Bermuda,
Right,
all of them
right,
did it.
Right. The
They-
Maroons, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't know about the culture in Puerto Rico, but there are a large black population, and it's very,
yeah.
and it's very
Yeah.
African oriented
See?
in general.
This is 1836.
Okay.
Well, it said that on one of Columbus' journeys, he came to Dominican Republic. He made his son the governor. That's how it's got his name. His son's name, Domingo.
My adopted son is Domingo.
Yeah.
My question, my brother, if you've seen it that many times, what is the name of the ship? I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell my little ones. When the little ones come through, they crack me up. The little fifth graders, they come through. The Kunta Kinte? I said, no. Then they say, one little girl said, the good ship Lollipop. You know what I mean? My little ones, they talk. I said, reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. They look around. Little girl said, the Brooks. She said, the Brooks. I said, that's right. Should be a comma right there, and I'm going to put one right there. I'm not going to take it apart. I'm just going to put a black marker right there. Okay?
You know, someone was trying to explain to me the similarities of how they designed early prisons, and the same similarity that you see there with that diagram. But I never really saw the. In essence, they didn't make prisons for us originally, because they were just outright killing us.
But the prisons?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the police forces were set up for you, and that's all. They weren't set up for white people. The colonies, because they had the slaves running away and moving around, they had to have police after them. That mentality is with the same police now.
Correct.
The same thing. They were set up primarily for us. Okay? All right, this right here. I'll use this. This right here is Goree Island. See these yokes right here? I brought you out on the mountain, and they had us with these whips like this, beating us to make us move. Okay? These are yokes also to use, and these yokes they use. And this yoke is in this case. This came out of Africa. This one right here. All right. Something else, huh?
Yeah, I heard that term so many times. Put them in a yoke, and I thought it was
It's a yoke.
some kind of chokehold or something.
Yeah. And this right here, I took a saw and cut this off nice because, see, it's still shedding, see? It's disintegrating now. I'll never stop it. And what I do, I'll put some sealer on it to keep, because I used to pick it up number crumbs.
Right.
So what I did was cut this and put a hinge in here. I'll put a hinge in so when I go to the schools and teach the children, that I can pick it up like this, and I got both pieces.
Right. Gotcha.
And it fits on like this. Okay. Then I got a chain here and a chain in the back, and I'm chained behind you. If you fall down, I got 50 people pulling. If I fall down, I could lose my head. Okay? Nobody, remember, no one cares anything about you but you and your mother. You said that's deep.
That's today's life.
Yeah.
So,
And this right here goes on your ankle.
Ball and chain.
This.
You used to see those in the old movies, like Laurel and Hardy when the
And the Three Stooges.
Exactly, those guys. I saw something there that says, do you know how the black man got his distinctive walk?
This is 65 pounds. This goes on your ankle. I'm gonna give you 5 years on a chain gang for $50 because you can't pay the bill. And you've been carrying this around and you go to work, you do what you gotta do. And then you get off the chain gang. You get off the chain gang, go back to the neighborhood, and you start walking like this.
Okay.
See, you start walking like that. And it's because you've been carrying that ball, but you didn't say nothing to me about it. I thought it was cool.
Right.
And you didn't say nothing. When I thought it was cool, I started doing what you do. And I started walking like that. And you see George Jefferson walking like that. Everybody was walking like that. I went to school like that.
Right. Well,
Because
funny.
when you don't know your history, you will fall for anything. Young boys, fast forward to the day, young boys in prison with their pants hanging down. They put jumpsuits on them now to prevent that now. Their pants hanging down. What are your children mimicking now?
That's it.
You see? Because they don't know history. That's what it is.
Right.
You see? It's right here. I got this out of Strong, Arkansas. A girlfriend of mine told me about it. We got 3 of them. I wrote that on there. What this is for, a laughing barrel is open 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening is closed. When you and I are on the street, something like Market Street or Chestnut Street, you're not allowed to show your teeth or laugh. You're not allowed to. Okay? If you have a problem with that, we could lock you up, beat you, put you on a chain gang, or just fine you for laughing, for smiling in the street and showing your teeth. And they didn't call it laughing, they call it tickle. Down there, so you couldn't get tickled. Okay? You had to put your head in there. Now, you know it's of a truth, because now, this opens 6 o'clock in the morning, closed 6 o'clock in the evening, because it's a sundown town. You got to be out of town by sundown. But what it is, you've heard it when they talk to people, say, man, you ain't nothing but a barrel of laughs. That's where it came from. See, things that they used in slavery, we're using now, and we really don't know. You see?
Yeah,
This is heavy, isn't it?
it is. And
Yeah.
we use all those little catchy terms.
That's right. That's right. And they all mean the same thing.
That's an interesting poster warning about kidnappers and slave catchers.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what the Boston area, Watchmen and Police Officers of Boston.
And they had black people that would sell you back into slavery.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah. All right. Come on, you guys. I'll turn the big light on in here. Okay. Now this wall right here, this is the Klan. A barbecue, castration, a barbecue, a barbecue, a barbecue, theatrics, suicide, castration, theatrics, and a woman hung. Okay? When they burn a black man like this, they burn him alive. They do not kill him first and then burn the body. They burn him alive because they want to hear him scream. That's what it's all about. Okay? This is castration. When they castrate a black man, because his sexual prowess is actually what they fear. They fear you're going to do it to their women. That's what it's all about. You can edit that out. Okay? This is the same thing. This is the same thing. And this is a body, theatrics. This body is dead. He takes his cane and pushes it like it's in a movie. Okay? This right here is castration. This right here is suicide. You tell me how that could be suicide.
Not with your hands, but the cops talk like that sometimes too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is suicide. And it's not that it's suicide, it's who's telling the story. That's what it is. This is theatrics also. This is Laura Nelson, the woman that was hung when she defended her son against a group of people. They hung her and her son. They castrated him and hung her. Okay? This right here is a brother that they killed, put him on a barbecue pit, and barbecued him. Cut it, barbecued, and he step over there, you can see it, because the light's shining in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see it?
I see.
Okay. And that's what they do. These people here are not waiting for the body to be burned. They're waiting for souvenirs. Pieces of body will be cut up and it'll be sold for 25 to 50 cents a piece. Okay? If you remember when E.B. Du Bois wrote a letter to take it to the governor in Massachusetts and went down the street and got to a store and saw the hands of a black man in the meat store. He just tore the thing up and left. See? All right? This is the dogwood tree. And this is, let this warning to all Negroes be or they'll suffer the fate of the dogwood tree. From the year 1990 to 2000, killed 3,400 of us. Drags behind cars, shooting, they probably did more, but statistically, it was 3,400. In that same period, 1990 to 2000, we killed in the average of 800 a month. Black on black crime.
Right.
Which comes out to be 145 to close to 70,000 that we have killed in the 10-year period.
Right.
We have outdone
The Klan.
the Klan.
It's amazing.
This is what they did to us. This is what we're doing to each other.
Okay. Yeah, give us a little more on this wall. You see this, now we're in the modern times now.
Now, this is both, all these are Philadelphia. And I still have something to put up. This is my grandson, 10th and Rockland, standing on the corner. This is my nephew, 24th and Lehigh.
Okay.
This is his son, 29th and Lehigh. This is Brayleaf. He came from this first Gulf War, had a rap tape, went to a girl's house, her boyfriend came out and just killed him in the street. If you ever heard of State Representative Harold James, you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
This is his daughter and his niece.
And his niece.
Okay. Okay. This is a nephew of a girlfriend of mine. We were on the phone talking, and they broke in and said that he had been shot, so we shot down there. The girl walked up and killed him for no reason. She knew who he was. This young man right here was in prison. They let him out. He stayed 4 years in prison. They let him out. 2 weeks later, they found his body on Penn Street and Germantown Avenue. These are his pallbearers. They're also dead. This right here, this is my daughter's brother-in-law, was anyhow. This is his cousin. His cousin was hooked up with a piece of drug dealer. You know, a drug dealer don't have no money.
Right.
You wonder if he's probably using her own product, stay dirty.
Right.
She was hooked up with him. She came home. She had 2 months before she got a master's. She told him she didn't want to be bothered with him no more. They were in her house. She set the alarm, walked out, expecting them to come out. They didn't come out. When the alarm went off again. She went back in. They began to beat her.
Wow.
They beat her, tied her to a chair. They probably killed her then. Threw her down the steps. In the basement, went and got a shovel because they were trying to get her head or they won't cut her head off. And they were using the shovel to break through the skin.
Right.
And stuff like that. And they went upstairs and got a knife and started cutting her head up. Now, I got this because the mother gave me the transcript from the court. One guy turned evidence on the other one. That's how I got that. Okay? One guy is going to die, the other one's in jail for the rest of his life.
Right.
He got killed by young boys. Of course, he told him to get off his car and turn the music down. So they killed him. So, you got it. This is Deshaun. And this is Amir. Amir was in his car, in his parents' car, on 23rd and Wharton, sitting in the back of the car. They got to fighting over Roosevelt Park, it's going to be 24th and 23rd.
Okay.
The police officer said a 9mm came across the street, found its way through the back of that car. hit that baby in the back of his neck, went through his car seat, hit him in the back of the neck, and knocked his throat out. He was only 3. The mother comes out with the food, getting ready to get in the car. She sees her baby splattered all over the back of the car. She just dropped. She just collapsed. She didn't even get a chance to scream. She just collapsed. See? He was only 3.
Yeah.
Deshaun was 4 when this happened. He went and looked in his grandfather's pocket for some candy and found a silver handle gun. He looked in the gun. And that's what happened to him. Okay? So I could go on and on and on and on and on. This is my grandson. Right here, killed in the playground. They came by and sprayed the playground and got him. This is my nephew right here, Georgie. Georgie was killed in a drug house. He was shot 13 times. So it's a long story about that. See? And this lady is from Boston. Her 2 sons were killed. One trying to break up a fight, he was stabbed. The other one putting flowers 2 years later on his brother's grave, was gunned down in a drive-by.
Really?
See?
And this is all Philadelphia?
It's all Philadelphia.
All Philadelphia.
This is Boston.
Boston, okay.
But you're all Philadelphia. And I want everyone to understand that I am so happy and glad that you did come. And you can reach us at 215-397-6060. That is 215-397-6060. Also, our website is LWFSM. That's Lest We Forget Slavery Museum. That's LWFSM. Use the letters. All right, and we're at 3650 Richmond Street here in Philadelphia. That's 19134. We're right off of the I-95 and Allegheny Avenue. You come down off the Allegheny Avenue, going north, come down, come to the bottom of the hill, make a left, come over to Richmond Street, make a right. We're 4 blocks away from that exit. So we're looking forward to seeing you, and we thank you so much, and peace out. Okay, I'm back again. I'm J. Justin Ragsdale, like I said, Chief Curator for Let's Get the Black Holocaust Museum. And we want to make everyone aware that we have a brick program going on. We're asking everyone to purchase a brick because these things can be done. We have to build this tunnel. You can donate money or you can purchase a brick. I'd like you to do both, all right? Now, what you can do, we have a website up. The website is lwfmuseumofslavery.net. That's lwfmuseumofslavery.net. That's what it is. We ask everyone to go to the website, make a donation. 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever you want. We need donations and we need to purchase the brick. The bricks are $75. Please help us. Make us a noteworthy museum. No one's going to help us but you. Remember that. Okay? Now, these are the bricks. These are names of some of the people that have already done it. Please. This will be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Philadelphia can see what we're doing in Philadelphia. So, do me a favor, by all means. Like I told a lady one day, like the man said one day, he said, I want everyone right now to get up off the couch, go to the bank, get out all your money, and send it to the museum. I was just playing. But nonetheless, if you can, make a substantial donation because we want this to happen. This is something that we all can do. This is our museum. No one is doing this but us. You wanted to do it, so no one can do anything for us but us, so we must. And I want to thank you so much again. That's LWFmuseumofslavery.net. LWFmuseumofslavery.net. And I'm J. Justin Ragsdale, and I want to thank you so much again. Peace out.
Thank you for welcoming all of us here.
Well, thank you so much.
I personally feel touched by your heart with the thing that you do. It's very a great deal and a tremendous thing that you have done, and you have left something legacy behind for the future young generation, and things that you've been accomplished. And hopefully one day, if you're not here, somebody will carry on.
Hopefully,
we will help you to accomplish your mission, your dream.
I really appreciate
And
that.
this is when you told me everything is just some you know, beyond our thought. You know, it's just the most horrible, horrendous, horrific thing that ever done in human history. You know, like, you know, Holocaust and slavery and killing and murdering, and it's just, I say it's beyond our what we can describe. So thank you for welcoming us here, and we hope we keep in touch. We